Hey, good evening, guys, and yeah, this is me on the tourist, and yeah, we're discussing about many things. So we have reached at our home around 9:30. Yes, bro. There was a lot of traffic today on the Noida roads or the NCR roads, and so we reached really late. We reached around 2 hours late. Isn't that a small time, man? But that's what it is. That's what the story of today is. And yeah, we are here at our on our terrace. And yeah, I want to talk about many things because I've just read the chapter from the book How to Win and Influence People, and really glad that I've read it. And yeah, and it is about second day of discussing about saying yes, talking people on their own grounds, because where you mutually agree on some point and you need to you need to talk around that. The author gave multiple examples. First, he gave an example of a person or or a executive who was trying to sell motors. So he called the customer, and the customer agrees, and the customer already bought some pieces, and the customer says that the water, sorry, the motors are working fine, but they usually get hot after using it, and they're so hot that even you can't touch it. But and then he said like why I need to touch them, but still they are really hotter than anything else. So what the executive did is what the previous executive were doing. They were telling the customer that their motors uh, temperature their motors temperature decided by the is under the selected threshold, and they're wrong. They are completely fine. So that's why the customer don't like it, because they feel like you already know about it. They feel, the customers feel offended because they tried someone is letting their emotions go or fighting with them, so they try to defend themselves. But what the new colleague was do what the new person, the new employer was doing is, so he agreed with the customer on the same grounds. First he said that yeah, they are a lot uh, the motors are hotter, the, the motors are hot, you can't touch them, so you don't need to buy them. Then the customer says yes, and the next point he gave is uh, he had given uh, they are hot, and what is your then he asked what is your room temperature. Then the author, sorry, then the customer said uh, then the customer said then the customer said 100 degree, and then he said what is the temperature of the motor. Then he said 70 degrees. So then he said that 170 degrees is the total thing, and please check, this is below the threshold of the motor regulations or motor rules. And then he told him like why you need to touch them. Because he already agreed on some viewpoints, and then his reply was totally worth it at that time. So then he agreed, and then he ordered around 50,000 USDs for about 50,000 USDs, because he was agreed on some kind of point, and he was not feeling defending or some kind of that. And then what he have done is so enormous. And then the author gave another example of a person who was the author gave one more example of uh, did the more examples done, like I'm forgetting the second example. What was that? Like, so basically this is not about the example, this is about agreeing on some way, and then tell the person your thought or your point of view, because that's what keeps you different. Or this is how psychology works. Because if you Or if you try offensive approach or tell them that they are wrong, they try to defend themselves, and you lose in the fight, because not every argument is worth, because in some because in some because sometimes winning a person is more important than winning an argument. And there's a Chinese proverb says, uh, the softer you deal with, the far you go. I'm not saying the exact words, but it is something like that, the example is. And yeah, I'm really glad that it works. And yeah, it's a good day, and I hope you enjoyed it to listening this session. And I'm really glad and enjoyed. And thank you so much, guys. Kalang is hero and always be hero, hero, and hero. No fears, no fears. And I'm the real one. I'm kept since since the day one. And Kalang is hero and always be hero, hero, hero. Kalang is here. Proud of you, my man. Love.